Hi everyone, it's Nicola Burton from Music Means Business. I have Manny and Mark from the Pushworth Group, and our very special guest today is Jade Holland. Hi Jade.
Hey.
Howdy.
How are you? How are you going with this isolation?
I'm pretty good. I'm isolated at home with my family, which was unexpected and not planned, but I'm glad that I got to come home and be with everyone. And we've just kind of tried to make the best of it, I think. So we're having a ball.
I think a lot of people are just rediscovering new things about themselves and their families in a way that is quite unexpected.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's tough when you're, I haven't lived with my parents in a long time. So merging back home, and then on my way home from my last show, which was over 6 weeks ago now, I think it was, I picked up my nan because she lived by herself in Sydney, and I thought, well, I don't want you to be alone during this time. So I picked up my nan and we did our crazy 15-hour road trip back to mum and dad's. And so that now there's 4 people in this little house, and you just have to make it work.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice. You're going to look back on this time as something really special, that time you had with mum and dad and nan. I think that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also the other times that we want to kill each other, but that's just normal. That's just normal.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, look, we have our days. We certainly have our days where I will say to everyone, I'm not leaving my bedroom, or just let me be for the day, or, like Nan will go and sit out the backyard and sit by the pool, and she'll be there for the whole day, and it's just because we're all just going, okay, this is my zone now.
Very smart. So how much, what are you actually doing for your music business while you're in lockdown? Because I know you just did an album in Nashville, but obviously you can't go back there to record again. So yeah, how are you doing this in isolation?
I've been songwriting as much as I can. I think I've come out with about maybe 15 songs so far, which for me personally is, that's really good, and I'm excited about.
Yes. All right. And so are you writing by yourself, or are you doing it via Zoom?
Everything's via Zoom. It's really exciting because I think it's a different way. Like when you're in a room with somebody, it's a feeling that you've got with them when you can throw your ideas and bounce them back and forwards, but we don't have that ability now. So now we're having to sit back and we think and we listen a lot more to what everyone's saying, and it's a really interesting way of doing it, but I'm loving it. I think it's great.
So you may never have to travel to record again. You could just Zoom or
maybe not, but then again, traveling's always fun.
It is, and I hope that we get back to traveling at some point in the future, because that would be, fingers crossed for that. Yeah. And I think Manny's got some questions for you.
Yeah, interesting. So this whole Zoom concept and this online, recording scenario. So I guess from an inkling of what happened previously, obviously you've flown over to Nashville, you've collaborated with a few songwriters, you've come up with some concepts. It's all basically off the cuff. It's happening very fast. You've got nervous energy. There's a product. There's no pre-production. It's come what may, jump into the studio with a bunch of musicians. There's a scripted time frame, and there's pressure to come up with a hit.
Absolutely.
I guess now you've got rid of that. You've now got a whole time frame. You don't need to script it within an allocated time frame, so to speak. You you can do some pre-production. You can listen to it. You can alter. You can add verses, choruses, adjust the middle 8, come back to it a few times, go back to Zoom with the collaborators, so to speak, and then you submit a pre-produced version of a track to a producer here locally. Then you go into the studio, and now you've got more time to work on a product. I guess there will be I look at it from, that dynamism versus the brand new dynamism. It's going to be a really interesting product. Do you feel that too much time on your hands in the studio might contrive and might script and might alter the end result, Jade?
I do think it will change the end result. I guess the exciting thing about Nashville and doing it that way is you you're in the moment, and you're not thinking, you're not necessarily going away and then coming back and then going away and then coming back. You are in the moment, you're living it, and you're going, I have one shot to make this brilliant. So that's the exciting side of that there, because I'm a bit of a random person, and I like to take chances like that, because I just think sometimes you can walk out with not the result you want, but sometimes you can take that punt and hope for the best, and you come out with this amazing thing. But then again, being in a studio, and our local studio, and having to not having to spend, but wanting and being able to spend more time on something, there's more control. You can control your outcome a little better. You can assess everything and listen to it and go, wow, does that work? Are we sure? We're not too sure. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board and think about it a little more. And as well, in Nashville, we recorded everything in basically a couple of sessions. The musicians were phenomenal, and they, a couple of them got it in one take, which is amazing, but I think it's really special to be able to sit in the studio and work on it with musicians as well. So I am excited for that new journey, and to be able to hear what they're doing. And it's a feeling. You want to sit there and you want to feel it. It's a motive. You need to be emotionally invested in it. And I think when you've got more time to actually do that, rather than taking that wild chance, I'm excited to hear what the new results are going to be.
So it sounds like you're more organically connected to your music.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
See, that's a great benefit of this isolation, of this lockdown. We are reimagining what music business is going to be like. I think that's great.
Yep.
Absolutely. From what you said before, Jade, you've been saying sane and healthy with your garden. Now, Mark is our gardening guru. Mark's probably got questions for you.
Hey, there's always something to learn on the world of gardening. It's too much to know. But no, it's how is all that going for you? Have you found that? I know I have personally, but just that time in the garden can be just such a relaxing sort of chill out sort of moment.
Oh, absolutely. So we've had a couple of different emotions whilst gardening. One of them was Mum and I had just finished, and I know that this sounds crazy, but we had just finished watching Game of Thrones, right? The whole season. And so after a couple of episodes or something, we'd head out to the garden, and we have a lot of palm trees in the backyard of Mum and Dad's house. And Mum was like, I need to get rid of that one, like basically all of them. So she handed me the axe, because Dad's been the only one working. And so, here I am hacking down this tree, and Mum says, now who are you thinking about? And I was like, that's Joffrey. So it's been great for emotion. And letting, a bit of stress relief there. We even got Nan on the axe at one point. Obviously, we were watching her, making sure she was okay. But, we can all let out our stress and our frustration there from watching such a show. But in the garden, I think it's really nice to watch everything grow. We grew 3/4 of it from seed. So, and to be honest, when I went shopping for the seeds, like I said, I'm a little bit of I like to take a wild chance on everything in life. And I just I didn't even look to see if it was the season for that plant.
Best way to do it. Throw it in and have a go.
That's exactly right. And most of it, I can honestly say at least more than 3/4 of it has started to grow. We've been eating some tomatoes from our garden.
That's fun.
Yeah, we've got some. Yeah, that's it. They were the little cherry tomatoes, but they were delicious. We also, I had one strawberry.
Oh, that's right. One will be more soon.
It was one magnificent strawberry. We've got heaps of herbs. We've got coriander coming. Like, I love coriander, and Mum and Dad and Nan, we're all a coriander supportive life household here. So we've got at least 6 coriander bushes, which I love. Yep. I've been drinking I want to make mojitos next, but I've been having like vodka, lime and soda with fresh mint. Yeah. So, and it's mint from our garden. We have heaps of rosemary. That's exactly right. So I really quite like it, and it's nice to get out there. I mean, we've had I've been growing some silver beet, and we could eat it right now. However, it's developed some kind of like a bug's eating it.
Yeah.
So now obviously I'm researching and going, well, what in the world is eating my damn plant and how do I get rid of it, you know?
Yeah, well,
But it's been...
garlic, chili, and tansy. You just grind it up, put it in a spray bottle and just spray it. We have got this weird green bug eating our lime stick and my cabbage. I can't.
Caterpillars rampant.
Oh my God. And so we're picking them off, trying not to kill them, and then spraying with the garlic. And also, have you planted garlic and chili around in your veggie garden?
We haven't. We've got chilies growing, so that's our next step is the garlic ones as well.
Yeah.
But speaking of cabbage, right? So when I went shopping at Bunnings to get all these little seeds and stuff, I did see a couple of I think they're called seedlings or little sprouts that are just grown at Bunnings in a little punnet, and I thought, okay, I'll buy them. So I thought a punnet of them that I bought, I went in with my face mask and my gloves and no word of a lie because my mum made me. And so when I bought all these little seedlings that were just growing in their little punnets, one of them said coriander on it. Now, this thing is not coriander. I can tell you that. I've tried the leaf. It's not coriander. It's growing so big. Like these leaves on this so-called coriander bush are now like this big, right? Wow. So but we still don't know what it is. I think I have confirmed that it is a cabbage.
Wow. Probably is.
I think it's a cabbage, but it was advertised as a coriander. I'm not mad because I think that's an exciting journey to live through.
100%. You started with coriander and ended up with the cabbage. That's pretty well done.
It's exactly right.
But how good is that gardening's keeping you're sane and you're healthy while you're in this uncertainty? How do you think that the music industry is going to be different when we're actually released back into the wild? What do you think is going to change?
Do you know what I think I've got a few theories about this. One is I think it brings us all back to a kind of a reset. I think a lot of artists have reassessed their goals and their plans and their sound even. Yes. I think it also resets us in the sense that we're all in the same boat. We're all in this together. It's such a crazy, crazy time to think that, you know, megastars like Keith Urban is advertising his isolation hair the other day. And here I was going, oh, is it just me? You know? But we're all in this together. And I think that's a really special thing that no one's actually ahead of anybody at this point anymore. We're all fighting this together, and I think that I'm really loving hearing the music that's coming out of it. And I think a lot of people aren't even advertising the music because they're just going to blow your socks off the minute we're allowed to head back into the studio and start recording and getting the new music out there. And I think as well, people are writing with somebody that they haven't even thought about writing with before. Yes. And I think, you know, I just can't wait to hear what happens basically to the radio. You know, everyone's had to become so creative in this time.
Mm-hmm. I think it's fantastic. And if you time travel back to December last year, what would you say to yourself?
You know what, that your eyelashes don't matter, your hair doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All those things that we love and they make us feel good about ourselves, and that's a beautiful thing. But we can feel good about ourselves just being healthy and happy and content with the little things in life, like being isolated with your family, even though sometimes we want to kill each other. We get to walk out of our room the next day and be grateful that we have each other. And some people don't have that, you know, they're being isolated alone. I've got some friends like that. But in other crazy news, we're also able to FaceTime each other now because we have more time on our hands. What else are we doing with our bloody time? Nothing. So you can, I've had so many FaceTimes with friends of mine overseas in Canada where, you know, it might be my 9 a.m. in the morning, but it's their 11 p.m. at night. And we're actually finally able to sit down and go, cool, now we've got our glass of red wine and we can catch up and see each other and check in on everyone.
Yeah.
It's amazing being so far apart, how we're all so interconnected at the moment. It's very interesting.
It's great.
Absolutely.
Now, so you're going to have a single released when? When's that coming up? What do you reckon?
I'm hoping to have something, I think, by the end of July, maybe early August.
Okay.
I'm super excited because it'll be almost, I think, at least nine or 10 months since my last single release. But, you know, in this crazy time, we're allowed to work on these things and focus and make sure that we're actually going to release something that everybody loves and can relate to, and that I can be completely 150% happy with and go, you know what, I'm really proud of that. So I'm really excited.
Excellent. Well, we have loved talking to you, Jade. It's good to hear how you are really making the most of this lockdown, and it's kind of inspirational for all of us to know that, look, we are all in this together. We're all gardening. We've all got grubs chewing our herbs in our cabbage. But look, good luck with everything, and we will check in with you soon. And everyone, make sure that you check out Jade's new single when it comes out later in the year. Thanks, Jade.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.